wow. Like, wow.
This was an interesting one, because on the one, do you want to do the intro? Like, welcome back to The Watch. We're going to be talking about Acolyte, episode 5.
Like, every time I think they can't get more crap, they subvert my expectations and I'm in shock and awe of how bad this episode was. And that's in light of this being the Acolyte. You've seen the quality of the other episodes. This took it to a new level. My brain is broken. I can't compute or comprehend how stupid this was.
As Shad said, there's a lot to go over. I think it's a bit of a mixed bag. Like, mostly I didn't like it. I feel like I should be upfront about that. But I'm actually surprised about some things.
Yeah?
Some, like, stuff they did. I'm a little bit under the weather, guys, so if you hear a little chewing sound, last episode they thought it was you. It's actually me. I've got, like, cough stuff. Anyway, I just wanted to add that in.
Yeah, like, I'm feeling sick too, and when I see something this bad, I get energy because I'm pissed off about how bad it was.
Where did you want to start?
Oh, well, look, we'll try and just do overall thoughts. Like, look, stuff it. We're going straight for spoilers. There's too much. Okay. There's too much to go through. We're diving headfirst in because right out of the gate, like, I thought, it was front-loaded bad, but then it consistently maintains it. And I have, like, nearly 3 pages of notes of this, 30-minute or something episode of just, like, everything is retarded in this episode, but pushed so far. It starts off with, like, Osha waking up.
After the force push.
Exactly, after the force push. And then we see Smilo Ren just slaying these Jedi. These Jedi are friggin' hopeless, right? And the choreography of what we glimpse was just, I was thinking, oh, this is bad. Are they going to maintain? And they maintain.
It was bad, but I'm trying to think what's been better. That's where I come up short.
In what? In
like, compared to what Disney's done before.
In what Disney...
Like, the sequels was dog crap. That's the worst it's ever been. Kenobi was also really trash. Maybe Ahsoka was better.
Well, what really just, like, was so many slaps in the face for me was the group fight scenes when they have more than 2 people. When it's just 2 people, there's some really bad spins, really bad openings, and it's bad. But when there's more than 2, they don't know how to choreograph this. And so whenever Smilo's fighting one of the Jedi, the person behind him just spins their lightsaber and does nothing, or just stands there when it's right open.
I will say this. Funnily enough, I think it's the most lightsaber stuff we've ever gotten since Disney's taken over. There was, like, over half the episode of just lightsaber stuff.
And most of it was dog crap, completely undermined by their utter disregard. They don't have a brain when it comes to, one, power scale, okay? Yeah. They show, Smilo, he is so friggin' tough. And remember, he's got to be better than, all the other Sith people that were done, because this is their show. This is Disney. This is their rewriting thing. And so this guy's taking on multiple Jedi and just wrecking them, unless it's a more important character.
Like the Padawan.
Like the friggin' Padawan. And she is just so awesome. And they know that they have such a hard-on for this annoying, insufferable, know-it-all girl boss Karen, right? That when she fights this Smiler in, she's holding her own. And it's like, hang on, she's the Padawan. She should be less skilled than fully trained, seasoned Jedi. But those Jedi are just completely getting wrecked. Like,
I am going to give them credit for this, though. They killed them. They get points. They get credit for that. Not only for a Disney issue that they don't kill people, they don't do any of this. Not only do they kill them, they also killed all of them.
Except Sol.
Yeah, except Sol. You get points for that. I'll give you points for that, and I'll give you
Not only that, I will say there are 2 things I really liked in this episode. 2 of the most annoying characters got killed. The insufferable Karen Gilboss, which is, holding her own, and she should have been killed, like, ages ago. And Mr. Mop Top guy, who's just a goof idiot. Right, like, they both die. And each time they died, you can ask Tyrant. I was like, yes!
Not only did they die, but they were particularly brutal deaths. And I'm like, hey, all right, I'll give you credit for this. This is great.
I find them so insufferable. I'm very glad they're killed off in the show and we don't have to deal with them because, again, they were just making that Padawan girl so insufferable, the whole thing. She was a know-it-all and everything. And even then, she was way too tough, right, for this whole episode. Because she's just so awesome, and it took way like the ease that Smilo Ren killed all these other well-trained, fully Jedi, knights, right, and then struggled with her.
Yeah.
Piss off. They don't understand power scaling, and then this whole episode, all these lightsaber fights are undermined by one of the most baffling, like additions, breaking canon kind of additions, and. Tyrant, you might know some what they're trying to justify with this, but Smilo has his helmet and a gauntlet that will completely short-circuit a lightsaber when it touches his helmet or his gauntlet.
So I'm pretty sure what they're going for is cortosis. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. So there's Beskar, which you've seen in The Mandalorian. Yep. Another one is cortosis, and I don't think I've seen it in live action at all. It was like as soon as it touched
100% guarantee short circuit. And when that happened, I kind of lost it because I was like, okay, game over. Like every time you come up against a lightsaber, just freaking block it with your gauntlet, their lightsaber shorts, and then kill them because they can't block anymore. Yeah. It's insanely unbalancing, right? And he can do it at any time through the whole episode. But he chooses not to most of the time. Instead, he's getting caught up doing these stupid, fighting things when he could short-circuit the lightsabers at any friggin' moment, which undermines the entire choreography and fight scenes when I'm just thinking you could end it at any moment.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand it.
Headbutting a lightsaber. There's a lot of headbutts in this episode.
There is a lot of headbutts in this episode.
And I was thinking about it because I've actually seen someone headbutt another person full force. Yeah. And it usually does more damage to the person. Yeah. Like, we're talking like that. I just don't like it when choreography has a lot of headbutts. It's just unrealistic. Yeah. Should we talk about when she headbutts her forearm?
Oh, we'll get there. We'll try and get chronologically, but when we bring up something so bad that also has implications for the later episode, we go a bit out of, timeline here because that short-circuiting armor thing was just so retarded that it ruins everything in this episode. Yeah. And that's not the only time when they show that they either have a tool or an ability that could win a certain engagement and no one decides to do it. Like when Girl Boss is fighting May.
I think the biggest issue I had with it was, I don't know any of this in lore. Maybe I haven't heard of it. Let me know in the comments. He says, I'm not going to take the helmet off because I don't want you to read my thoughts.
We'll get there. I got a note of that. I was just like, what is this crap?
Yeah, because even I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe it's something in canon.
It's like an anti-force material that, because lightsabers, do they channel some of the force energy in them?
The crystal does.
The crystal does, and so this material repels any force anything, that touching it also will short a lightsaber and block the force mind reading.
Keep in mind, I'm inferring that it's cortosis. They don't say that. It's
just this magical thing.
I'm just going, in canon there's this, which kind of is that.
It's the closest thing that you could come to.
But I don't think that has Magneto helmet type deal going on. So I don't know about that.
Oh, and so even this opening choreography with Smilo fighting the Jedi, and he is just ripping them to shreds, okay? Either if it's multiple people, one person just standing, not doing anything while his back is turned, or it's one at a time, where he fights one, and then after he pushes one off, conveniently the next one comes in, and he fights that, pushes off, and then conveniently the next one. And it's just contrived crap. And this was just right out of the gate. It was really, really bad. Smilo kills one of the Jedi by stabbing right through the torso, and I'm like, oh, he should be able to survive that. It got really bad, and then there was that first helmet thing where he literally stabs a lightsaber and then blocks with another one, and I had to replay that because I was like, what? What just happened? I could, the fact that the helmet could block a lightsaber was surprising enough, which means, like, is this Beskar or anything? But no, then it short-circuited the lightsabers as well. And the Jedi's are there trying to turn it on, and they won't turn it on, and it takes, like, I don't know, what, 10 seconds to reset?
10, 30 seconds, yeah.
Something like that. And, by the way, in a fight scene, that's a lifetime.
It is.
If you get disarmed for, like, even 10 seconds, okay...
5 seconds.
5 seconds,
yeah,
and
you're done.
The person is coming at you aggressively, you're dead.
Yeah.
That is just instant win. And the fact that Smilo isn't resorting to that every time is retarded.
What's funny is, first off, he shorts 2 Jedi's lightsabers, then the other main Jedi guy blocks the incoming strike. She circles around and gets in a line formation with the other Jedi, and then they're both standing there trying to turn it on. Then the Sith shish kebabs them. He stabs one, and then force pulls the other one. It's like, okay, this is a bit comical.
I hate it. It was so bad. So there was the rumor that Smilo might have been the mother's, and we did get the reveal of who Smilo is now. It was
the skinny dude.
So, like, this is the thing, right?
I told you that's what they're gonna do.
It was so painfully obvious that I thought they would not be making it that obvious unless they were trying to red herring you and misdirect you, and you think it's going to be him, and then
I told you, Hellbrand.
But they're that incompetent.
I told you, it's Hellbrand. It's the same thing.
They're that incompetent that they thought they were still gonna. That was going to be a surprise when they reveal it. When it's like they made it so clearly him, and it's just like, wow, we are dealing with people who are that incompetent. And I bet they thought that was a surprising reveal. And it's like, holy crap.
I will say this: as a villain, he's fine.
They've gone so far with the edginess, and he has to be tougher than every other Sith before he's taking on like 10 Jedi.
That's stupid, yeah. But I'm just saying, at least someone's evil who isn't like, I can be redeemed, you know? It's like, he seems like a bad dude.
Yeah, he's just like,
gonna be a bad dude.
I've embraced the darkness, and I'm just gonna, wreck things because he tries to reveal some of his motivations, and it's because he wants to use his power without the Jedi telling him what to do with it.
There was one line he said that I actually really enjoyed. When he's like, you brought her here. Like, that is a...
Yeah, it's like, you killed my Padawan. And he's like,
bro, you brought her. It's not on me.
I'm like, fair point.
That's fair.
Like, you can't really blame him for that. Well, look, he did kill. You can blame him for killing him, but taking the Padawan into a very dangerous situation. Oh, my gosh. So, then... Because if it might have been one of the mothers... Smilo legitimately tries to murder Osha and May. And so if it was going to be revealed by the mothers, I was like, oh, this could, because the mother's supposed to care and I'm doing this for you. And then it's like, okay, Smilo, it's him all along, and he has been trying to murder them. But then it doesn't make sense with the end when he spares Osha. At the end, Osha's, unconscious, and he puts a blanket on her. It's like, dude, you were actually trying to murder her while she was running away. It's not like she was attacking you, you were defending yourself.
No. He was trying to kill the evil one.
Yeah, I know, but I was paying attention. He legit tried to kill Osha as well.
Did he?
Yeah, I was paying attention. He tried to murder both. And it was, I think it's when he threw the lightsaber, when she was running away, and the lightsaber's going right before her, and, what's his name? Sol comes in and saves her life. And so I was like, okay, Smilo just wants to kill her. And she was running away. Yeah. It wasn't like he was defending herself. But then at the end, he decides to not... I'll put a blanket on you. Yeah. So the motivations are... Everything is retarded in this episode. That flying lightsaber, this one, I had to laugh at, right? Because it passes through several trees. Yeah. But it's on an angle. And... I'm not sure these people have ever tried to chop down a tree in their life.
Well, it's crazy because there would have been VFX artists who had to spend time doing that.
Yes.
Basically, it's a cut at a 45.
Yeah. Angle.
Instead of the trees falling like this, the tree falls like this, like up over the cut.
Over the cut. Like when you cut an angle, if the tree is got a center of balance, right, it'll either slide down or fall on that angle. Not just one, not two, 3 trees in a row that have this steep angle fall over the angle. Yeah,
which is, the reason why they did that is because they didn't want the trees to fall into the shot, which is fine. But why would you have
You don't. Yeah, exactly. To have it on a different angle, you didn't need an angle. It was
strange.
But the reason why I'm jumping on this, because people might say it's a small thing, we are dealing with a whole range of creators of this show, and I wouldn't really call them creators on the show, that seemingly are so sheltered and oblivious to normal reality that they don't even know which way a tree is supposed to fall down, depending on how you cut it.
Physics, it's how fights are supposed to be done, because the one scene that really just takes me out in a crazy way is when the Padawan is trying to arrest the evil twin, and she's trying to read her rights throughout the whole thing, which is like, if that's what you want to do, fine, but arrest them first. A police officer isn't chasing you down like, you have the right to remain silent. No, after they put the cuffs on you, then they'll read your rights. She's trying to fight her the whole time. She has the knife to her neck. She's about to kill the Padawan. So the Padawan headbutts her forearm.
Her arm.
That's crazy.
And I could have accepted just a bang back, but she goes bang, bang. Like four...
It's like if I was in a fight scene and they headbutt someone's knee. Like, what are you... This is so ridiculous.
Dumb. And, like, what also destroys and just... Again, they don't understand power scales. At the beginning of the confrontation, when the Padawan is trying to arrest May, she force pushes May, knocks her out nearly completely, and that's how she gets the first cuff on. And so it is established this girl boss Padawan can knock out May with a force push, easy as anything. And then May fights back, and suddenly she's struggling, and she can't beat him, and she's getting choked or with a knife to the neck, and she needs a headbutt, and all throughout this fight, I'm like, just use the force, you retard! You've done it before!
A good example of like a Padawan fighting like a Sith Lord is in Attack of the Clones when Anakin fights Dooku. Now, Anakin, keep in mind, was a prodigy. He was like...
Yeah, he was really good. And,
so good.
And they foreshadow and bookend that perfectly. Like when Obi-Wan says, you know, you're practicing your lightsaber to the point where you think you're better than as much as Master Yoda, and he's like, I thought I already surpassed him or something like that. Yeah. And so they already were indicating that, Anakin, he was good with a lightsaber.
But keep in mind, this is what happens. First off, I have no problem with a Padawan lasting a little bit because everybody has a puncher's chance, right?
Yeah.
Even with a sword, you never know. Anakin and Dooku fight for a few seconds, and then Dooku just destroys him.
Yeah.
That is how you would expect this to happen. And that's to Anakin, who spent his days practicing against a droid with the moveset of Darth Maul. Like, he is...
Yes.
So with this Padawan, who then fights with 2 lightsabers, reverse gripping it against the Master...
Who is just wrecked, like up to 5 Master Jedi, or just Jedi Knights, right? Yeah. And the fact that she was holding her own better than those guys, I was like, piss off. Yeah. But it's because she's so awesome. Girl boss, right? Okay, so Smiler tries to kill Osha. The trees fall in the wrong direction. I'm just, like, laughing. And then Sol starts to fight Smilo. And after they showed Smilo just destroy those other Jedi, I even found it too much to swallow that Sol was holding his own against Smilo after that. Then the fact that they have the Padawan hold her own, I was like, get stuffed. Because even Sol, they established that, you know, he's a master, he is pretty well, like, he's training the others, and they mentioned that is pretty top. Smilo easily just destroyed up to more than 5 Jedi, right? And that means, like even if Sol is good... Simultaneously, they're all trying to kill him, right? And Sol, even if he's a master and better than the others, he's not better than 5 Jedi at once. Surely not. Yeah. But he holds his own, and I was like, get stuffed. And they don't understand power scale at all, which ruins any investment you could have in this episode. Okay, so yeah, Sol facing off of him, I was like, no, not a chance. And then Sol says this line, and I was like, what? He says, you carry a Jedi weapon, but you are no Jedi. And I'm like, hang on. He doesn't know what the Sith are. What? No, come off it. The Sith were a big deal in the past. There's big wars with them and stuff. And you're telling me a Master Jedi like Sol has never even heard of these bad, you know, Jedi-like warriors that use red lightsabers, often wear black and a mask, right? He does not know that this is a Sith. And then when the Smilo says, you could call me a Sith, and Sol is just like, yeah, whatever, bro. They do not understand continuity or canon in this show one bit. It's so stupid. So there is that line. Okay, and then the Padawan comes in. I was expecting her to have died already, honestly, with how he was killing everyone. As I was like, of course she survived. And then the fact that not only did it make her survive when all others die, the fact that she holds her own. But I was annoyed by the mere fact that she was still alive at this point. So, you know, you can understand my reaction when she finally got killed. She starts to fight. This is where she starts to try and arrest May. And I was like, why isn't she using her lightsaber? Maybe she got disarmed. Maybe she dropped her lightsaber in the Force push or something like that. Because surely you would not try and arrest a dangerous, wanted for murder assassin that's killed 2 other Jedi and not use your lightsaber as a precaution or a means to incapacitate her.
I did find it funny, though, when the first scene of when she tries to arrest her, she just jumps and kicks her in the head. That was funny. I felt like, that's funny.
She could have just used the...
I know, but the scene is the evil twin walking out, all of a sudden she just comes up and bang, straight in the head. I'm like, all right.
But then she just force pushes, knocks her out. So I was like, maybe, you know, you've lost your lightsaber, and okay, you can basically incapacitate her with a force push. But then Osha fights back, and she doesn't use the force push again. Then she finally subdues her with a double headbutt bullcrap, right?
Well, the issue I have with the whole scene is, remember in the last episode, she's like, yeah, I'm going to turn myself into the Jedi.
Yeah, so and now she's not turning herself in.
This is what I'm saying.
This is freaking retarded. I can't stand this crap. You're right. You're absolutely right. Last thing we heard from May is she was going to turn herself in. Yeah. Holy crap. This show can't even keep track of its own continuity within itself. That's how dumb this creative team is. Leslie Headland, you do not deserve to be ahead of any show at all if this is the crap that you're spitting out. This is all her. She's like the director, showrunner, writer, and a lot of things. She is complete dog crap at this. Yeah. Holy. It makes me wonder how she got into this position, and I reckon it's because she's got dirt on other people from, you know, having certain relations with a former boss.
The reason why this is even more jarring is because, keep in mind, I know for us it's been like a week and whatever, but in Showtime, in their world, it's been like 10 minutes since she's like, I'm going to go turn myself in. She finds the dead Jedi, the Sith shows up, force pushes everybody, and then instead of coming out and helping the Jedi, she fights with the Padawan, and then she's running. Like, it's a whole...
It's so retarded.
So I don't know what any of them are doing anymore.
And then after this engagement with the Padawan and May, right, Smilo appears. And the Padawan reaches for a lightsaber. She had it on her the entire time. And so all she had to do was pull out the lightsaber, like surrender or chop off a leg or something like that. It was like... So she could have easily incapacitated May at any point, either lightsaber or push, but this show is retarded, and so no. And okay, Sol is continually hold his own, because as she's fighting May, it cuts to Sol, and Sol's holding his own, and so this is probably before the headbutt thing. And I was still wondering, how the hell is Sol doing this? Is he just that much better? And that's where we have the interaction where Sol is like, why do you hide yourself or reveal yourself or something like that? And then Smilo says, what, so you can read my thoughts or something like that? With that, the helmet is somehow blocking Force. And they've gone so off the rails with the Force reading people's minds. I know Disney already did it with Kylo Ren, reading people's minds with the Force. Before then, it was just like getting an intuition, and even people had to be really emotional. Like Vader intuited that this sister was alive from Luke, right? But that was like in the extreme and only intuiting things, not actually reading people's thoughts, like word for word.
The closest thing is like a... it's hard to explain, like a compulsion type thing. Usually, like when Obi-Wan does use another that's kind of what you can do. And then when you do it with multiple Jedi, it gets really not good. But that's not reading people's minds. That's kind of a bit like compulsion more than anything else. I
understood that a lot of Jedi could always sense emotion, like I can sense your fear or anger.
There are some, like Quinlan Vos, who can touch objects and kind of get visions-ish. But that's a special power. That's not everybody has it.
But in this, because it's Disney Star Wars, Jedi can just read people's minds, and it's something the Soul could do so many times to have cleared Osha early on, or figure things out. It was just so dumb. But now they're hanging a lantern, oh, you'll read my mind, and his helmet blocks it like Magneto, as you said. And it's just, everything is going off the rails. It's so stupid on so many levels. Oh my gosh. And then, Soul says, what master hides his face from his pupil? And then Smiler Ren says, you tell me. And I'm like, that's not an own. That doesn't really answer anything. It's just a bad dialogue.
I just took that as like he's hiding his true self.
Convoluted, and I felt it didn't make sense. Smiler is fighting Soul more, and there's like a really bad spin where he exposes his back. He should be dead. There's multiple times when Smiler could have been killed if the Jedi fighting him just didn't let I'll do nothing while you fight, my other Jedi friend, and now you're facing me, now I'll engage. The choreography was really bad in a lot of this. And then it ends with like a kick, which knocks Soul out, and then he doesn't kill Soul. He just walks off, and that's when he walks towards the Padawan and May. And there are so many times when this guy, like, he could have killed a lot of people. The fact that he leaves the Padawan at one point as well, and he doesn't, and he could have killed Soul here, and he doesn't, is completely inconsistent with what he's trying to do. We
then have the, I don't know his name, the other main Jedi show up and die instantly.
Well, we're not up to there yet, but it was relief when he happened, because at the moment, Osha and Mophead is trying to get to the ship, and then they decide to go back because they need, they must help. But this is, when Smilo goes to the Padawan, and the Padawan had subdued May, and then she had the lightsaber on her the whole time, and I kind of just lost as like, you friggin' kidding me? Because I thought she dropped it, and that would have explained it, but no, it was right there at her side. And then he shorts her lightsaber again.
Yep.
And after a bit of engagement, I'm just like, this Smilo Ren guy is a retard. Or just lead with that. That's your opening move. Jedi fights you. Short circuit, dead.
Could you imagine if he had like a buckler? And that stuff.
And people might be saying, well, we don't want him to short circuit every lightsaber because then we would have a cool fight scene. The answer with that is don't introduce the short circuit friggin' stupid armor stuff, and you can still have cool fight scenes. Now that you've introduced it, it ruins everything, because why isn't he using it properly? It's so dumb. Okay, so he doesn't do that, and he fights for a bit, then short circuits, but then he lets her get it back because I can't remember exactly what happened, but they get into an unarmed bit of a fight then. And I think someone caused him to drop his lightsaber. Yeah. And then the fact that she is holding her own against him, and this just dragged out, it was just such an insufferable kind of she's awesome girl boss moment. The people list. It was the Mary Sue kind of, this character's so awesome, and we're going to make her do all these words. She's going to girl boss and lecture all the other characters. And
she dies right up.
But then she dies, thank goodness, because she was insufferable.
You know what's funny? I think people are going to love this episode.
You reckon?
I reckon they will, because it reminds me very heavily of Kenobi. Kenobi was trash the entire thing. And then we got to the end, and then Vader and Kenobi fight, and everybody goes, this is amazing. And I'm like,
this is the worst episode.
This was the worst episode. What are you talking about? I think people are going to love it. Because there's lots of lightsaber stuff.
Like, the writers think the audience are as dumb as them and stupid.
But keep in mind, for the last 10 years, since Disney's bought it, all the lightsaber stuff has been bad.
Absolute
real bad.
Crap, right?
This is the first time there's an actual lightsaber episode.
Some of it is fast-paced, and if no one's paying attention, they turn off their brain, and especially the consumers that just, anything Disney, Star Wars, I agree, they'll probably eat this episode up, even though it is unbelievably stupid.
The lightsaber choreography isn't... It's bad, but it's not as bad as everything else. Everything else, there's been worse stuff, a lot of worse stuff.
Yeah, look, that fight between Rey and Kylo in Rise of Skywalker it was one of the worst fight scenes I've ever seen.
So I think people will like this because there's a lot of it as well. There hasn't been this much lightsaber stuff since the prequels.
That's sad.
I know.
But look, that's going to be the smaller minority audience. I think most people are waking up and realizing this is dog crap.
But in terms of like story and power scaling and all that sort of stuff, this is
terrible.
No good.
It's been amazing how much the die-hard defenders who will just eat whatever slop Disney gives out to them have been desperately trying to defend this show with, especially the official reviewers. But look at that official score compared to the audience score. We're down to, what, 13% on the Acolyte? People are waking up, and this is absolute crap.
You know what the worst part is? I've seen a lot of people defending stuff like, oh, this wasn't Disney doing this was in the EU, this was blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, sometimes things are stupid that were in the EU too.
Yeah, that's not a defense.
That you can think that Disney does stupid things and there's stupid things in the EU. Those things aren't mutually exclusive. Like there are dumb things like the lightsaber whip where it's like this shouldn't have been in canon at all. Cortosis, as good as it is, I don't even know if it's that though. I don't even know if it's that. I mean, if it's cortosis, I mean, like I don't mind it being in canon with the explanation that it can block certain stuff and maybe once in a while short it out. This stuff, whatever this is, that's too OP, man. Yeah. That can.
It's game changing. It's like if this exists in the universe, every scum or villain would be having it on their hand to just easily
I would make a gauntlet out of it and just grab people's blades.
Just a full arm thing, and just you block and you short circuit the lightsaber and then shoot them in the chest.
Yeah, you'd be OP.
It's so stupid introducing this, but they don't care about canon. They don't care about continuity or power scaling. They're idiots writing this. They just, this will be cool, let's do it, right? And just on your point, how people try to reference, the expanded universe stuff and say, this happened. Oftentimes it's a false equivalence where they're latching on to a minor thing and they're trying to justify a really terrible thing in the Acolyte. Like, the Acolyte has some astoundingly retarded stuff, and then they'll show, Luke on Tatooine doing the kick, and it's not connecting. And it's like, see, there was bad stuff in the OT. And it's like, these are not equivalent at all. All right? But some people are desperate to defend this, not because it's actually good. I think, one, there are a group of people that just will eat the slop and is like, any flashy lightsaber, yeah, I love it, right? But other people, it's because it's spreading the message. It's made by you can't criticize it because it's diversity, and you'll be a racist if you criticize it. We haven't mentioned anything about the diversity or anything. This is just a crap show, flat, inexcusably bad. I would be embarrassed having been part of it. If I wrote this, it is so terrible. Okay, so after the confrontation between the Padawan and Smilo Ren, he does defeat the Padawan, but he doesn't kill her. I know she dies later, but in this engagement, he just leaves her alive. Well, because it's completely inconsistent.
Thingy shows up. There's a lot of scenes in this where someone's about to die and then somebody else shows up to take his attention away or something like that. That happens 3 or 4 times in this episode.
But there are times when he's had people at their mercy, like when he kicks Soul.
That's what I mean. They're at his mercy. Somebody else will show up and he'll just. Okay, I'm gonna go attack this now.
No one showed up when he already incapacitated Soul. He kicked him and knocked, and then he could have killed Soul at any point. No one stopped him from there, and so it does both. Is what I'm saying.
And keep in mind, this is after his little speech, or is it after or before his little speech where he's like, "I've got to kill you all."
Yeah, then he was leaving people alive. Yeah. Okay, and so Soul does eventually return, right? And then him and the Padawan start to fight Smilo, and they go back to horrible choreography where when one is fighting Smilo, the Padawan just decides to stand there or just twirl a lightsaber and is like, his back is exposed. You could kill him right here. The choreography is horrible. This is where Smilo also legit tries to kill Osha and May, and I was like, this is the mum. She's like, this, but no, it's not the mum. But yeah, so he's trying to kill everyone. So I don't understand why he lets Osha live at the end. Okay, so Smilo's struggling against 2, and he easily killed the others, and he could short circuit their lightsabers at any point.
Yep.
At any point, but it's just fighting, and it's like, dude, you have your helmet, have your gauntlet. You could easily win this.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, at one point, right, Soul gets knocked to the side, and girl boss Padawan fights him, and there was a moment she could have killed him. It's when she elbows him in the head, right?
Yeah.
And there was the opening.
Okay, well, there's a problem with that. First off, she's elbowing a helmet.
Yeah.
Then she starts pommel bashing a helmet, and it breaks the helmet. That's crazy, man.
So dumb.
Don't get me wrong, a pommel bash is it'll hurt, but not against armor.
Right? And one of my pet peeves is like, if you are fighting, right, and you're in there and you decide to hit with your, you know, fist or a kick or something, oftentimes, especially in this choreography see here, and I really criticize this in what was the middle? Rise of Sky, Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi. The throne and tripe scene.
Oh, The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. So many times where Rey, Kylo decide to punch one of them unarmed when they have their lightsaber right here, and they could have killed them if they just used the lightsaber. Happens right here again. The Padawan decides to punch or elbow him when you have your lightsaber in your other hand. You could have killed him. Yeah. You've shown that was an opening enough to land a blow on your opponent, which means you could have done it with your lightsaber, but no, because...
And stop punching armor. Why do people punch armor?
It's retarded, man.
It's the stupidest thing. Maybe these people have just never...
been in a fight, never known reality?
They've never even seen proper armor. Dude, just any type of armor.
They don't even know physics, which way a tree falls when you cut it. This is made by sheltered people who do not understand reality or society properly, what people like, how basic storytelling... these people are children trying to make this, right? And so anyway, then there's like an engagement where they're unarmed. Smilo is struggling, and she elbows him, and then he calls the lightsaber back, and something really weird happens. He splits his lightsaber into two, and he has two mini lightsabers.
They're like two little wakazashis. I don't know about this. Usually, because like if a lightsaber is double bladed, it's usually on the outsides because they have separate crystals. This is exactly
what I was going to point out.
There is you can have shorter lightsabers because Yoda actually has a short lightsaber. But this is he has a full size lightsaber, unplugs it, but this side here that goes into the blade.
So if I would grab this lightsaber, take it apart, it comes up. It doesn't come down. And they're like trying to say the bottom one shoots through the top one to get a full length.
Yeah, that's what I got as well, which is...
It's retarded! This is so stupid. It's that's not how lightsabers have ever been shown to work, right? And they show... And it looks like the lightsabers when split apart are smaller.
Yeah.
And only when combined does it go longer, which means that they need... It's actually using the energy from this half that's kind of pushing through. It's this show is just... I can't stand it, man.
Reverse gripping as well.
And then he reverse grips and he kills the Karen girl boss Padawan. And I was just like, thank goodness.
Well, what's funny is I thought once I saw the lightsaber go through, I'm like, oh, are they going to have her survive? But then he does 4 more. And I'm like,
3 hits. Okay. It's bang, bang, bang.
Okay. They're actually killing her.
Good. Thank goodness. Having said that, they could still have her survive.
Well,
this show is so bad. I would have put it past it.
Wait until we get to the last scene because that's interesting. Yeah.
Right? I would not put it past the incompetence level of this show to have her survive because she's just too awesome to die. I hope she's gone for good. But my note is she finally died. But it took way too long. She should have been killed in the first engagement. Then they reveal who he is, and yes, it's the Asian guy, and I was like, wow, they are that incompetent. They were making it so obvious. The only thing that was making me think that it would be someone else is that they couldn't be that dumb to make it that obvious and think that they're going to have some interesting reveal.
That's what I don't understand now, because now that I was correct, I go back to the last episode and I go, why did he kill the Wookiee Jedi? Because the whole thing was send the evil twin to kill the Jedi as a test. He then, as the master, goes and kills the Wookiee Jedi. So what's the test here? What was the point of any of this?
It's so dumb because you're right, it doesn't make sense. At first I was thinking he wants to frame May, so the Jedi arrive, Wookiee dead, and she can't choose to leave, the master and turn him in because now the Jedi think she killed another one. By the way, that wouldn't do anything. The Jedi know she killed 2 other already, so that's already retarded. But if that was his plan, why does he arrive and decide to kill everyone?
Yeah.
It's maybe it's because he knew he wanted to kill everyone and he could take out the Wookiee easier on his own. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
It's because
even if his logic is, okay, I want to she betrayed me. She's my acolyte. I'm going to kill her for that. Yeah. Which is a fair Sith thing to do. The issue with that is, like we said in the last episode, she doesn't know anything. Yeah. So there's no gain here for you going to have to kill 6 Jedi or
apart
10
from
Jedi.
revenge and satisfaction. But the Jedi, you're right. Like, I could see why they have not explained why he actually wants to kill the Jedi. He says, "Oh, I want to use my power the way I want." Okay, and that means what? He wants to kill the Jedi because they don't like other people using the Force.
Well, I have a lot more questions about this now, because if he is a Sith, so does he have a master, or is he the master? And the issue with that is, how did you get, first off, how did you get trained? Second of all, how did you get the red lightsaber crystal? Because now Disney has made their own canon stuff on how you make red lightsabers.
How do they say it? Oh,
you have to bleed the crystal. You basically have to pour all your hatred into it and stuff like that. Like, so now I'm just more confused. I'm like, who's this guy? Yeah, especially since he's so powerful,
insanely powerful, and it feels so cheap but so Disney, where their stuff that they make has to be more awesomer than anyone else. So their bad guy has to be tougher than everyone else, and he can take on 10 Jedi and beat them all and everything. But it doesn't work. One, it looks desperate and cheap, and it's the Disney stuff. But all the other things, who the hell trained this guy? Yeah. This guy is like tougher than Darth friggin' Maul, and he was trained by Palpatine. It's so retarded and stupid. I don't think I wouldn't put it past him to not even answer that. He just taught himself.
There's just so many different questions here of what is he even doing? Like, the plot part doesn't make sense here for all these characters' motivations to do stuff.
Oh. Okay, so there's the line where, like, you killed you killed so and so, you brought her here, and then okay. He is proven. This guy is insanely dangerous. He's a psychopathic murderer. Soul is ready to, take him on, okay? And he's afraid of Soul, not really, but he is suddenly, and so he decides to grab May, the evil twin.
Yeah, this is funny.
And threaten to kill her, and he gets Soul to decide. It's like, Soul, she's a murderer. She's an assassin. It's like, you're really going to try and save her life and disarm your soul? Oh, you idiot. Because he does that.
He's using his own acolyte, the evil one, as the hostage. And the Jedi's like, you got me.
You got me.
I'm so confused here.
Like, surely not. Even the most, staunch, good-hearted Jedi would say, you're too much of a threat, and she is also, an evil person.
At a certain point, you have to go, okay, I don't want this person to die, sure, but at the same time, if I die, then nobody else finds out about this.
Yeah.
He goes off and kills a whole bunch of, there's consequences.
Exactly. You could kind of weigh up the situation, and then Soul later legitimately has Smiler Ren at his mercy, has a lightsaber to his throat, and he spares him. Yeah. I was like, are you friggin' kidding me?
Well, before that happens, after, what's his face? The other Jedi, the yellow lightsaber Jedi guy.
Yeah, he comes in.
The childhood friend comes in. They fight unarmed for a bit because both their lightsabers are shorted.
But the thing is, it takes way too long for the short to now reset. They've shown that it was like about 10 seconds. Now they've just forgotten they have lightsabers. They're not even trying to turn them on.
They're just fighting, and then he snaps his neck.
And then...
Which is actually something I don't think I've seen that in canon like that before.
Yeah.
Because I think they've done it with the Force and stuff, but they haven't done it just... Yeah.
I mean, I was just happy to see that annoying character die, because it means I don't have to put up with him anymore. Like, I would be happy to see everyone in this series, the Acolyte, and I'm talking about the characters, no actors, the characters, everyone to die. I would be happy if this show didn't exist, okay? It's that bad. That's why I'm pleased when I have to suffer through less insufferable characters. And yeah, Mophead dying, he had no redeeming anything. He was just a clown to be shown as an idiot, and then he died. That was his character. Because
they could have given him something to work with.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have preferred him as a main character over Soul, as, the childhood friend who can, I don't know, learn how to get better, become more assertive. I don't know. But nothing. He's dead now.
Pointless. It was a pointless character that only served to be a clown, to get joked on, and then he died. And so, glad he's gone, don't have to put up with him. But he literally added, nothing to the show, almost. It was crazy. And then Sol, right? Okay. He's swinging in for the killing blow. Then Osha comes in and tells him to stop. That's what gets him to stop the killing blow. It's Osha saying, like, you know, or was it? No, yeah, it was Osha. Yeah, the good sister. And I'm like, what the hell? This psycho evil guy. Why does Osha suddenly want to spare him? And then that legitimately gets him to stop the killing blow in the middle of a fight. And then he chooses not to. The lightsaber's right there. And then he says, Jedi do not kill an unarmed... Jedi do not attack the unarmed. I'm like, yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
He's too dangerous to be kept
Exactly.
You know,
I know they're referencing the Anakin Dooku thing, but no. That, like, kill him. And every single evil thing that this Sith now goes on to do, because he does escape, right, is all because of Sol's stupidity in that moment. Yeah. Not ending him right then. I mean, Obi-Wan understood this. Like, you know, he'll end people when they needed to be ended.
He's just killed a whole bunch of children and, like, Jedi Knights and stuff. And their corpses are literally just all around you. Don't get me wrong, he was probably going to kill him out of anger, which is against the Jedi way, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. But, I mean, like, in that particular circumstance, with it being a Sith, it's like, I don't think anybody's going to be mad at you.
Especially because if you don't kill him now, he is so crazy and tough. They've shown him to be so tough that there's you have no guarantee you'd be able to subdue him or keep him into custody. Okay? This is a bit different when...
And I hate it when they do this, where the next scene, they let the bugs take him. And it's like, I'm not going to kill you, but they will. It's like, bro, that just makes you a coward.
I know, and the fact that he's getting...
the Ned Stark line is my favourite of this. He who passes a sentence should swing the sword. That's what, to me, it's always about that.
And here's the thing. Osha just asked Sol to not kill him, and then she puts the light on his back... trying to kill him.
Yeah, so all the bugs take him away.
Are you retarded, Osha? What are you doing? First, do you want him to die or not? Okay, because of course, like, he starts to fight back, right? And Sol is going to struggle. Osha tells Sol to, like, turn off the light, something like, because they're you know, hanging a lantern on the fact that light attracts these creatures, these violent, evil creatures. They are evil. They're just vicious monsters, basically. Then she puts a light on Smiler Ren's back. Thing is, though, the light is no brighter than Smiler's lightsaber.
Yeah, I know. I thought the lightsaber were going to
Exactly. The lightsaber attracts them enough.
Yeah. That's why she told the other guy to turn his... I don't know.
But for some reason, Smiler's lightsaber isn't attracting them, but when Osha's like, sacrifices her droid, I'm sorry, Pip, I have to do this, right? It's dumb crap. She puts the light on Smiler's back. For some reason, it sticks. It doesn't have an adhesive on it. All of this is retarded, okay? And then suddenly now there's a flashlight on his back. That attracts the creatures when the lightsaber didn't. It's all dumb. And then they try to gaslight you or, you know, make you think, oh, the creatures killed him. It's like, no, they didn't get stuff. Like,
which he doesn't. At the end of the episode, he's alive.
Exactly. It was so lame. They actually thought that would make people think, oh, he's dead now. You handled him. Yeah. When he just got pulled off screen. You don't see a dead body or anything. Is like, of course he's not dead. But guess what? Sol thinks he is. So Sol's like, job done, we better leave now. And not only leave, like, hang on, you have like multiple dead bodies of fallen comrades there, and you're like, screw them, we need to get out of here.
Well, funnily enough, now that they've left that planet, because in the trailer they're on that planet with the lightsaber whip, which means they go back.
They're gonna go back. Yeah. This is all crap. Do you see how bad this is on so many levels, right? Oh my gosh. This is short-circuiting my brain. Just especially like that sequence and then he's leaving and it's like, you don't even know he's dead, you just...
And then we have the evil twin stun Sol.
Well, that's what happened. When Smiler is getting pulled off, evil twin stuns him, right? But he does try and leave with Osha a bit later and not knowing that, you know, Smiler's not dead, right? But then there is this... It's just so
It's a terrible.
It's a terrible scene.
It's crazy because as soon as they all started talking, I'm like, wow, all that lightsaber stuff doesn't seem so bad now. Because the dialogue is hard. It's hard to...
Like, so there is an exchange between the two twins, and I'm like, don't you dare try and say, I care for you, we need to be together. You literally tried to murder her, okay? And she does that. She even says, I love you. And I'm like, piss off! Don't even attempt to go there with what you've shown this vile character do. And she says, I did what I needed to do for you, for our family. And I'm like, what, murder Osha? Is that what are you insane? Then she says, like, you've been brainwashed. And I wonder, I was like, hang on, are they actually going to have the flashback scene be false? Like, that was Osha's memory, and she's actually misremembering, and it was the Jedi that literally injected the memory that May tried to kill her. That is actually a lie. I wouldn't put it past them.
It's just funny how it plays out, though, because she goes, the Jedi, they tried to kill us. They set the fire, and she goes, you started the fire. You tried to kill us. And she goes, you've been brainwashed. You poor sweet summer child. I'm like, that's a bit weird.
Like, she doesn't try to say, no, I didn't.
No, I didn't. She's
That's
just
a lie. You've been brainwashed.
You misremember this.
Yeah. No, it was really bad. So then, Osha's like, no, you need to be arrested anyway. You're bad. You are bad. The dialogue is, I'm not quoting word for it, but it's almost to that level. It's like, no, you're bad. I will not go with you. You're bad. And of course, May just knocks her out because
this annoys me when people force push people, because she force pushed her into a boulder.
Wasn't I thought it was like off a small ledge.
Yeah, it was off a small ledge into that boulder thing. It's like, bro, that would kill someone.
Yeah.
If you threw someone like 20 feet, that would kill them.
I'm just laughing that Osha thought that she could incapacitate May when Osha has demonstrated she has no combative ability really at all. Yeah. And May has murdered Jedi, even though really she shouldn't have been able to get away with it. But she's obviously tougher than Osha. Yeah. And Osha tries to take her. It's like, you that's dumb. Of course, May knocks her out. And then this, oh my gosh.
They pull the old switcheroo.
The show thinks it's being clever when it's just, it's like, it's like, I don't know, I don't want to be mean, but it's like a child. And children, they don't know good, right? And they come up with something and they think it's really, really good. And, you say, that's a great effort. Good job, and stuff like that. It feels like the writers are like that. They've done something so dumb, but they legitimately think it's great.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they've... All right, so what's happened? They've swapped places. She takes her clothes to go with the Jedi.
She cuts her hair.
Yeah, she does cut
with
her
a lightsaber.
Yeah, that's dumb.
And it happens like... She does it by hanging her longer hair down, sweeping the lightsaber back, and then it is perfectly cut. It because Osha has like this kind of like... Her dreadlocks go in an angle. It's perfectly cut. And there's no singed ends at all when we see her next. Perfectly cut.
Well, what's funny about it is, if Sol could read minds, like the Master thought he could, why couldn't he read that? Was
exactly. Like, this show is so bad. But May cuts her hair with a lightsaber. Then they try and pretend that, because they don't show her wearing the clothes, right? The cutting the hair was made it blatantly obvious that's what's happening. But then the show thinks that they want to have a reveal later on when Smilo Ren goes to the other twin and they show Osha's tattoo to try and indicate, just to let you know, May has switched places with Osha. In case you're retarded and you need to know. It's like, we're not that dumb. But the show actually thinks people won't get it. They thought they wouldn't figure out, or that they're hinting that the Smilo Ren is really the Asian guy when they made it so painfully obvious, right? And this is so painful. It's like, do they really think we're wondering why Osha cut her hair? Sorry, why May cut her hair with a lightsaber, right? Because then... supposedly Osha walks up to Sol and says, we need to leave. And it's like, yeah, it's painfully obvious this is May, even though the hair is like perfectly cut and it's May's hair, sorry, Osha's hair and everything, when this is really May who'd cut it up hair with a lightsaber. And I'm almost insulted that the show thinks that the audience might not understand that and that they need to reveal it later on. And Saul was like, yeah, we better go screw all the fallen comrades. And, I'm sure Smilo Ren, the animals took him out. That's fine, we better leave. And so then they go back to the ship. They do this weird thing with that animal sniffing thing because, of course, Smilo Ren is alive, but then he, like, follows the animal thing back to the ship. Then that's the episode.
Well, no, it's not. He force heals her at the end. That's what he was doing.
I thought he was just pushing her over. No, he didn't.
He was force healing her.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. At the end, the Sith evil dude force heals OH&S.
But hang on. Where did she get injured on her side?
I don't know. She had like a cut or something there, and that's what he...
They didn't...
Do you have it on here? Pull it up here. I'll show you.
I'm so confused. It's not logged in. I tried to... I might need a because I know we get seen an injury, and he kind of does something with his hand, but I think I might be in one of those moments where I did not accept that as force healing because I think surely they couldn't be that dumb. It must be something else. No. But you're right, it might have been actual force. By the way, he's a Sith, mind you. Yeah. If he force heals, that is a Sith. Yeah. Oh, God. Right. He tried to kill Osha multiple times before, right? He said he's there to kill everyone.
But then he's like, all I want is an acolyte. They said the thing. So I'm guessing he's going to try and make her his pupil.
Why? I'm like, are they that desperate to force in the title of the thing when throughout all of Star Wars it's been Padawan, apprentice... it's those the language. But he's saying now it's Acolyte. Why are you saying Acolyte instead of Apprentice? Because that's the name of the show. Yeah. This is such crap.
But that's the whole episode.
That's the episode. Like I said, this takes it to a new level. I was not prepared for it to get even worse, but it has. My brain is hurting trying to wrap my head around.
Yeah, I don't know what the story is for any of this. In terms of like the action and stuff, like I said, I think there'll be people who see the lightsabers and a lot of it, and they'll be like, "This is great. We get to see a powerful Sith." But for the most part, it all just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's all retarded. They've ruined so much, especially with the short-circuiting helmet gauntlet thing. All of this is retarded. It is that bad. Oh my gosh. Amazing. I don't know what to expect now, Tyrant. I was wondering if last episode could be as bad as it gets. This has just shown me that I need to stop making assumptions about this show or expecting that it can't get worse, because clearly it can.
Well, there's 3 more episodes left?
I'm
not really sure where they're going with it, because they could have just tied all the loose ends with this episode and be done with it. The Sith has to kill them all, right? Like that's what's got to happen here.
Bald green lady, wife to Leslie Headland, showrunner of this show, former assistant to Harvey Weinstein. That green bald lady is going to rock up and do her lightsaber whip.
In the forest somewhere. Yep. Yeah, so that's got to happen. Which he's still in the forest with OH&S, so I'm guessing they're going to find out that the evil twin is evil, lock her up, and then for some reason she's going to convince them to take her back to the planet with them, with like a party of Jedi, to rescue the good one and kill the evil Sith.
Like what does May want to do? She's now sneaking to be what? She's convinced Saul that she is Osha.
Yeah.
To do what? To get back to the Jedi Temple to be trained as a Jedi? Does he want to kill him?
But I bet you what's going to happen is she's going to go back there and realize how nice the Jedi are and go, I was wrong all along.
Oh yeah, they will not have the skill to pull this off, but they're going to try. I feel that they're going to try and do a switcheroo and actually attempt to redeem May, even though she is a psychopathic assassin murdering scumbag, right? And it's like, oh boy, you're actually going to try and redeem her, make me... And they I'm not saying you can't redeem evil characters. I'm saying they have not the competence to pull this off. She is going to be evil, and they're just going to wink, you like her now, don't you? She's good, really? We're telling you she's good. And it's like... Yeah, and then they'll probably make Osha get corrupted by the Sith, and she'll become bad. There's going to be another flashback episode.
Probably.
Because we've seen from the trailer that, there's a scene where the Wookiee Jedi ignites his lightsaber in, another scene that we haven't seen. He's dead now, so it has to be the flashback. and it's going to be the flashback from May's perspective. And it's probably going to be, this is what really happened. Holy crap. Like, we're in for a wild ride. This is, I think it might still get worse. Amazing.
Oh, yeah, I reckon it'll get worse. Yeah.
Like, when you have people this incompetent making a show that has made such these horrifying and at the same time laughable mistakes that we have seen in this episode, where they don't understand continuity, power scaling, keeping canon correct, and then just dialogue and story, character motivation. This is one of the greatest dumpster fires I have ever seen.
It's funny because I was talking to one of my friends about this on the weekend, how bad the Acolyte is. And what's funny is I came to the conclusion that the worst thing that Disney's ever made about Star Wars is the Kenobi show. Like, Kenobi's just worse than all of this.
Kenobi took it to a new level. But like we said in a previous episode, to me, it's a balance. I think Kenobi did more damage to beloved characters, and that probably could make it worse than anything. But I think the writing and quality, the characters, and now like the power scaling stuff is even worse in Acolyte.
But the crazy thing is, even Acolyte looks better. Ahsoka actually looked pretty good in terms of its visuals and stuff. Kenobi was out in some quarry shot on iPhone. You know what I mean? Like,
it looked like it was all done on the volume as well on Kenobi. But I actually think in terms of the parts, the actual working parts of Acolyte, I think this is, look, Kenobi's bad. Like Leia, chase scene and Leia underneath the thing and not being able to turn off a laser fence.
Slapping the stormtroopers and knocking them out. Like, you see what I mean? Like,
it's just... Kenobi, like, oh boy, it's hard to...
I was ranking them all the other day and I'm like, Acolyte's bad, but... like, Kenobi's still below it. Like,
I think I might be able to, because when I think about it, Kenobi has some unbelievably dumb things. Yeah. Acolyte's coming in close though, man. Yeah. We are really fighting for that title here, because wow, this was the worst episode yet, but we have 3 more to go.
Yep. I think that's everything.
That is it, and look, we'll be there, because that's what we do. Stay on watch.